Yo, what's good, Spirit Squad? It's your boy Dre, and today we're going to be going over a bit of tribal nonsense and legacy. Today's tribal nonsense is not going to be spirits, and it's not even going to be the merfolk deck we've been playing lately. It's going to be Dimir Ninjas. If anybody's been paying attention to Legacy, Dimir is one of the premier decks of last year, and now it's gotten a sweet new toy out of Neon Kamigawa. For anybody who's unaware, Moon Circuit Hacker is the card I'm talking about. And this is all over Pauper, but it's playable in Legacy too. For anybody who doesn't know what it does, it's a 2-mana, 2/1 creature. And when it attacks and connects, if it is the first turn that it came into play, you get to draw a card. Every turn that is not the first, when Moon Circuit Hacker connects, you instead get to loot. And looting is still pretty good, but drawing a card is what takes this thing really over the moon. So you get to use this thing with cards like Ornithopter and Changeling Outcast that are really easy to cast, but hard to block. And when you don't have a Moon Circuit Hacker, you even get to play copies of Yuriko. Let's go over the deck list and see exactly what's what here. So here's going to be our complete deck list for Dimir Ninjas. We'll see, like we said, that we've got 4 copies of the Moon Circuit Hacker, and that's going to enable us to start drawing cards early and hopefully often. We also get to complement the hackers with Yuriko the Tiger Shadow, and this is going to be a great way to make sure that you have an easy, aggressive plan that puts cards in your hand so that you can just really overwhelm your opponent. And while I did say earlier that this deck is full of tribal nonsense, this is not going to be your typical tribal deck that's playing Aether Vial and Friends. Instead, this plays a lot more like a traditional Legacy deck where you get to play like Cantrip Cartel of Brainstorm and Ponder, you get to play removal like Fatal Push, Snuff Out, and a Murderous Cut, and you get to play the good Legacy counterspells like Force of Will and Daze. You also get a few creatures that let you kind of rinse and reuse them for value with your ninjutsu creatures. So just in case you want to do something other than bouncing Ornithopters and Changeling Outcasts, this deck plays 2 Baleful Strixes and a Brazen Borrower too. So in the case of Baleful Strix, you get some really sick value out of this thing. And since both of these creatures are flying, they're pretty hard to block, making your ninjutsu even easier to activate. So with Baleful Strix, right, you play the thing, you draw a card, your opponent doesn't attack because they don't want to trade with your Death Touch, right? The next turn, you get to untap with Baleful Strix, attack with it, it's flying and Death Touch, so it's probably hard to block, they don't block. You get to ninjutsu in the Baleful Strix for a Moon Circuit Hacker. Now you get to draw a card when Moon Circuit Hacker connects, and you get to rinse and reuse your Baleful Strix to draw another card along the way. This is going to be a really crazy amount of value and not that many things. And the same goes for Brazen Borrower, except instead of drawing a card, you sometimes just get to remove your opponent's threats from the creatures. Like imagine getting to Brazen Borrower, casting Petty Theft to bounce your opponent's Merit Lage token, cast Brazen Borrower, untap, attack with Brazen Borrower, ninjutsu in a Moon Circuit Hacker, and now you have Brazen Borrower / Petty Theft back in to take care of the next iteration of Merit Lage. This deck gets to really take advantage of some crazy value. The other cool thing this deck is doing is being the only deck in the format that really wants to play 4X Retrofitter Foundry. And Retrofitter Foundry is going to be another super sick addition to a deck that's otherwise relatively low power. On the face, it's not really that exciting. You tap 2, you tap itself, you make a servo, yawn. You tap 3, untap it, you can do that again, still yawn. But the cool thing here is that without paying additional mana, you get to turn your Thopters into 4/4 constructs. That is exciting. We have 4 copies of Ornithopter, which of course is a Thopter, and we have 4 copies of Changeling Outcast, which is a Mutant Ninja Turtle. Wait, hold up. It's a Thopter, and you get to change these things into pretty effective 4/4s. So if your Ornithopter is just kind of sitting on the table looking bored, well, a 4/4 is a very, very respectable threat in Legacy. So this is not your modern game where, you know, your opponents are having Fury Ephemerates all the time. They're not playing a million Fatal Pushes. They're not playing Unholy Heats all over the place. A 4/4 in Legacy is something that opponents really need to respect. So these are going to be the tools that we're playing to get our aggressive plan out. I think none of those things were the most exciting part of playing ninjas, though. I think the most exciting part of playing ninjas is actually the mana base, because it is incredibly stable. This is one of the most stable decks in all of Legacy. And this is exactly why I liked playing Merfolk, because Merfolk just gets to play a giant pile of 12 basic islands. So if your opponent's trying to use cards like Blood Moon, Back to Basics, Wasteland, Merfolk doesn't really give a shit about any of those things, and Ninjas is pretty close to the same. This deck gets to play 4 basic islands and 2 basic swamps, with 11 fetch lands to go get them. We've got 4 Polluted Delta, 4 Prismatic Vistas, and 3 Flooded Strand to go get the lands that we choose. We want to have islands a lot more than swamps most of the time, which is why we're okay with Flooded Strand kind of being the off land. But what we really want to be doing is just fetching as many basics as possible. We do have 1 Underground Sea in the deck, because sometimes it is correct to just get your dual land, or your opponent is definitely not on a deck that's trying to control lands, so an Underground Sea is fine to fetch. Either way, this deck doesn't need more than 1. And that's not even like a budget consideration, but it is a very nice upside. You know, if you're just jumping into Legacy for like the first time, right, and you're considering maybe, I don't know, it's tax return season, I can splurge on myself, maybe get a dual land or 2. Well, this deck only needs the 1. And spending exactly 1 Underground Sea is a lot better than playing a deck like, say, Jeskai Control or, you know, is it Delver? Decks that are playing anywhere from 4 to sometimes as many as 9 dual lands. Well, this deck only plays 1, so spending $800 or $900 one time is way better than spending $3,000 or $4,000 on half of your mana base. So that's really exciting as far as any kind of considerations folks might have. Out of the sideboard, we also have some really cool things here. We've got 2 copies of Force Negation just because, well, welcome to Legacy, format's fast sometimes. We're also playing 2 copies of Wasteland, and these are not necessary, but I think Wasteland is in a pretty good spot right now, at least out of the sideboard. In our game 1s, we don't actually want to be trying to Wasteland opponents, which is why these are not in the main deck. But some decks will present problem lands that we want to take care of, like Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale. We also want to take care of things like Dark Depths. So that'll be a great way to help control those, but we don't want to see them too often, so I think 2 is probably the correct number to play here. We've got 3 copies of Leyline of the Void and 2 Surgical Extractions to help with any graveyard shenanigans. And the fact that we're spending cards out of our hand, like the Leylines, to help take care of decks like Reanimator, I think we're actually okay with that in this case because of the fact that our ninjas are going to be drawing cards. So the card is pretty easy to replace. We're not necessarily self-mulliganing when we put a Leyline of the Void into play. We also are playing black, which means we do have the premier removal in the format. We get to play 2 copies of Plague Engineer and the other 2 copies of Fatal Push if we're looking at any kind of creature decks. So if you're facing Death and Taxes, Elves, any random shenanigan like the stuff I'm usually playing, those are going to be some really good tools to help out with that. And then rounding out the package, just going to be 2 copies of Thoughtseize. So this is going to be a deck where you do really want to be careful against exactly Veil of Summer, but honestly, we've got a lot of really good tools against the rest of the format, so we are very hype about this. Right now, the best decks are going to end up being Delver, Lands, your regular Dark Depth strategies, Elves, Death and Taxes, and as we've kind of gone over in the sideboard here, we've got some really good plans against all of those things, so I'm hoping to have another good league experience. Alright, round 1 versus the Magic Rat. Alright, well, weird username, but sweet hand. So we got a turn 1 Outcast, a Force Will, Brainstorm, turn 1 Moon Circuit Hacker. Yeah, we in there. So I already have a basic island in hand, so I can just take this, grab me a basic swamp, and I'm not going to cry about not being able to cast a Daze that isn't in my hand, so no reason to not have the swamp here. Very excited about this so far. What's my opponent gonna do? Windswept Heath is scarier than you. Uh-oh. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play the basic island here, and turn my friend sideways, go into blockers. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Is there a Swords to Plowshares? If there is a Swords, I'm not gonna try to protect my Moon Circuit Hacker here. I think I'm just gonna let that rock and then recast my Changeling Outcast. But first, let's see if our opponent actually wants to participate here. They're probably reading the Moon Circuit Hacker, if I'm actually being completely honest, because this thing's definitely going to be a super Pauper all-star, but this is not Pauper. We're in Legacy Land. Hey, give me my card. All right, we're going to recast the Outcast and then pass the turn. And now that we've hit with the Hacker one time, every other hit with the Hacker is going to be a loot instead of a true draw, but honestly, I'm not really sad about that. Still pretty sweet. So let's see what we have access to here. Ooh, that's nice. All right, I super love that. Man, let's go. So here, I'm gonna get to go ahead and turn both my friends sideways here. And Yuriko I will protect. Okay, move to blockers. Are you using your other fetch? Looks like you are. Still not. Is this an Ice Fang Coatl? It is. So I have one card in graveyard right now. I can, Delta puts 2 cards in, Brainstorm is 3 cards in. I think I'm actually, yeah. So I've got, so they're gonna get to block the Moon Circuit Hacker like this. And I don't think a force is anywhere near good enough to do anything about this, right? Like, I think I just let this rock if it's just a force of will. But yeah, I don't think I want to force this. I think I just want to, let's think about that. If I force a will the Ice Fang Coatl, then no, I'm gonna get the cards right back. So I actually am gonna force the Ice Fang. So now I get to go ahead and hit twice, and I'm actually going to stack it so that the Hacker resolves last, so I can have the 2 cards in hand from Yuriko and then make a decision about looting later. So there's that, and now I do want to loot, and I don't necessarily want the underground, but because I got to do the sweet looting first, I knew that. And I think I'd rather have the Outcast because I have an active Yuriko than have the Retrofitter Foundry on the table. So they can go ahead and just like swords or something else to Yuriko here. And honestly, that's pretty annoying. But remember, they're at 12, so they got a little bit of work to do here. What's this? Outland Liberator. Oh, sure. And this is fine because I've got Fatal Push and Murderous Cut already in hand. So this is, unfortunately for our poor opponent here, not going to go all that well. I'm going to go ahead and put Nile into play using this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think the card types matter here because I'm already not using the graveyard with anything else, so like this is fine. Again, Moon Circuit Hacker resolving last. Cards. Yes, I would like to loot, and I don't need a Flooded Strand. I guess I can dig for a force? Alright, that's still fine. Alright, your move, Yugi. Draw your last pathetic card, Yugi. A Wasteland. You have no power here. Masked Vandal. Oh, I actually don't get to have them do that. So what I was thinking Masked Vandal worked like is that they would exile something and then the effect would resolve here, but they don't actually have to exile something. I was just trying to get a little extra value out of that. So they are going to get rid of their Liberator or their, I don't know, land or their Snake maybe. Whatever. Getting rid of something to shake my Foundry, but that's fine because I still have a 4/4. So now I've got 2 ninjas for them to deal with. I've got a 4/4, they're at 5. I also have a Daze, so bad times for them, great times for us. But so now they're stuck chump blocking the construct, and I'm still going to have access to you know, the 2 triggers here, and I've even got a Daze, so alternate mode on Daze. Yeah, tapping 2 mana, let's go. All right, cool. So that takes care of game 1, and against these green-white decks, I think I like just putting in the creature package. So I don't really necessarily want to play around with any of this, and I don't think they're, you know, depths enough to need Wasteland. I think this is just going to be one of those Green Sun Zenith package decks. So I'm just going to take out the Dazes. I don't know that I even want all 4 Force of Wills, if I'm being completely honest. I don't want all 4 Force of Wills. So that's going to be my sideboarding plan here. And we're going to put in 2 pushes, 2 engineers, take out some forces, and I'm sorry, take out a force and take out some Dazes. So on a draw, I don't really like Daze here. Like they can, you know, Green Sun Zenith for a Dryad Arbor. They can just play cards like Birds of Paradise and Noble Hierarch if they really want to. I don't know that we saw enough of their deck to actually say that we have a great idea of what's happening here. So I will assume that Daze will get outpaced pretty quickly. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Ooh, things we're not wrong about. this hand. So double Ornithopter is super gas, and then yeah, so turn 2, depending on what they do, we can either Fatal Push into Moon Circuit Hacker or go right into Yuriko, and either way I'll be happy to maximize my mana. So what's this? What's this? There's magic in the air. What's this? Okay, so stuff like this is exactly why I was not really a fan of using Daze, because Daze is just not that strong in a world where your opponent's gonna be like, turn 1 Green Sun Zenith, here's a Dryad Arbor, good luck catching up on mana. And we are gonna go ahead and use Fatal Push as a sinkhole. But yeah, this is exactly the kind of stuff that I was talking about with the Daze. Just don't really need to walk ourselves into this mess. So here, let's see what happens. They have a whole plethora of things they could do from here. Like they can play a oh my Lanta. All right, we are in for a long haul, kids. But unfortunately for our poor opponent here, that Forest does not cast a, oh, what am I thinking? Forest does not cast Swords to Plowshare, so we're gonna do this and just slide right into Yuriko and then get our first trigger going. And if they can solve Yuriko, then yes, that's annoying. But if they, oh, well, okay, never mind, Yuriko solved. Oh, what's this? Zenith for 2? Is that the Masked Vandal I was looking for earlier? Oh, an Ice Fang. Okay, well, that's fine. Like, the value's certainly there. And Caracas can bounce Yuriko, which is pretty annoying. Okay, not the worst. So they can block Yuriko with this, and I can take Moon Circuit Hacker to get +2, and then still recast 2 Ornithopters, Retrofitter Foundry, and pass. If I draw a land, I can also cast a Ponder. Man, that's insane. Oh, all right, let's do that. Oh, we're just not doing that? We're just gonna take all the damage? I mean, you're allowed, opponent. Yes, I'd like to draw my free card. All right, so main phase 2, let's cast a whole bunch of stuff now. What? I understand technically why you wouldn't block there, but I certainly don't agree with that. All right, so they've got 1 snow-covered plains. What are we doing with this? Just Prismatic Ending? We are Prismatic Ending, okay. So let's shake one of these and turn it into a 4/4, and then your Prismatic Ending can resolve. And I don't know that you can really tap the Caracas for Matt. What, opponent? Sure, you're allowed. So here they can just like pop the Outland Liberator to destroy my construct, which I have absolutely no problem with my opponent doing here. Yeah, all right, I'm here for that. This means I can actually just use Ponder to look for a Fatal Push or a Murderous Cut. None of those are the things I want. Shuffleophagus. That's actually not bad. That's not bad. Let's do the thing. All right, opponent. This is something that I would classify as your problem. Okay. Go ninjas, go ninjas, go. So we trade here. This block is fine. This doesn't get through because they pop this to do this, and then I still get to be +2. We will certainly take those. Oh, nice. And yes, draw me a card, please. So here I'm gonna get to cast our unblockable ninja friend, and yeah, deal with all of this. Go. All right, so Misty takes him down to 3. Yuriko's such a powerful magic card. I don't really know that I would have been tapping Caracas for mana here against a legendary creature. Plague Engineer where X is ninjas? That's hilarious. I guess joke's kind of on them because I have the Brazen Borrower already, but like, you know, it's what it is. They still got to like clean up some stuff, and all things considered, it was pretty good for them. So let's go ahead, draw a card. It's our own Plague Engineer. That's hilarious. We don't need it, but it's still funny. So what do I want to do here? I think I just want to bounce this thing and then attack with my 2 creatures, right? We don't need to do anything else or like get fancy. And she's just a human ninja, right? Yeah. So that takes out 1 blocker, which is really nice. And they kind of have to like block here and maybe pop this or something. Like this is not really a good time for them, I believe. So let's complicate things as much as possible and get some attacks. Doop, doop, doop. Yeah, I think this is just gonna be like a pretty bad time for the opponent. So like you kind of have to block the 4/4 and like Caracas this, but if you Caracas this, I'm just gonna get to ninjutsu in anyway, so like that's okay. So we're blocking that and letting this through. Do you have a Swords to Plowshares, opponent? I am at least medium confused. Oh no, that was actually good. That was actually good because that keeps this on the table for the Caracas. It prevents me from bouncing this one, and now I'm reduced to Brazen Borrower as like I guess the win con for here. So they don't necessarily have any creatures, and I don't have a Moon Circuit hacker here, so no, I think that actually was fine. But if they Karakas now, then I'm definitely going to Ninjutsu in. Okay, I was gonna say I very highly doubt they do that, but just in case. So yeah, I'm still good here. 1, 2, 3, Plague Engineer, I assume naming Ninja again. They could name Fairy or Rogue, but that doesn't do anything to my onboard stuff either. So let's see if they just like name Rogue to try to solve the Brazen Borrower I'm holding, or if they're going to be dealing with the problem that's on board. Either way, it's not necessarily a good time for them at all. And that's probably what they're considering, is that, well, my plan A of just dealing with what's on the board right now sucks, but my plan B of like also trying to deal with all of this nonsense sucks too. So let's see what happens. Outcast Ornithopter? I don't want those right now. I don't mind the land though. So let's shake these two. Goodbye, friendo. You were very useful. Thank you for your service. You are a creature type rogue. Oh, and you're not a rogue. Okay. I want all of these. So I guess what I'm gonna end up doing here is just brainstorm hacker Strix, because I want to play the Strix now to draw the hacker. Okay. And the next card is a brainstorm, which I will play the land, but I actually want to draw the brainstorm. So let's, I guess, just attack with this Ornithopter and see if it walks me into a swords. Hey, come here. My clicky didn't want a clicky, I guess. I don't know. Let's do that. A pop, pop. All right, sweet. So 1-0, Ninjas did the thing, and yeah, this deck is so fun, y'all. I mean, I would say y'all don't understand, but you're literally watching, so you understand too, but I'm having a blast with this. Alright, so we got round 2. We're on the draw, but while this hand does need a ninja, I like it otherwise. It's got Ornithopter, Fatal Push, 2 Ponders. Yeah, whatever, I'm here for it. Let's go. So let's see what turn 1 contains. A mountain and a Chrome Mox. Oh no, are we playing against Ruby Storm? Ruh-roh. This Fatal Push does nothing. Fatal Push is not a magic card. Mopal and Gamble. So they can play the Mopal now. Uh-oh. We're looking at uh-ohs. So this deck is actually pretty sweet though. They just like get a bunch of mana using things like Rite of Flame, and they eventually build up a crap ton with cards like that, like Bergy God of Storytelling, and the eventual goal is to just like have a shit ton of mana, do a bunch of stormy stuff, and by stormy stuff I mean casting like Lion's Eye Diamonds, Echo of Aeons, Mox Opals for mana, Lotus Petals, the cards we see here, Chrome Mox, Rite of Flame. And this has a few unique tools. It has like Gamble so that you can get Echo of Aeons, and when you have Lion's Eye Diamonds, that's good whether you discard Echo of Aeons or whether you excuse me, you discard the Echo of Aeons, or whether you actually have it in hand, because you can just discard it using the Lion's Eye Diamond and still do the thing. And shit, this is really good, but this hand even more desperately just like requires interaction. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is, God, this is some savage finger crossing. I think I have to put Yuriko, Brainstorm, Ninja and keep this. I am going to draw the Brainstorm for my turn next turn and fetch away the Yuriko in hopes that Moon Circuit Breaker and Ponder together can find a way to draw me a piece of interaction that can deal with this. So like even a Daze might be useful, but especially a Force of Will. But honestly, it's looking pretty weak right now. I'm a lot more comfortable with this on the play than I am on the draw, but you know, that's not where we live. So it looks like they're going to, oh, and they actually discarded the Echo Vans anyway. So this is really easy for them. All they have to do is, oh, there's a defense grid. F. We're cussing. This is bad. Oh no. Like, you know that stupid meme from The Simpsons where like the kid's like, I'm in danger. Well, they discarded the LED, so it is better than it could have been, but make no mistake, it ain't pretty. So what I'm gonna do here, since I do not, oh, they only have one card though. Maybe I do want to draw the Yuriko this turn. You know what? Yeah, I do want to draw the Yuriko this turn. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this, jam in Yuriko since I didn't die here. Or rather, draw Yuriko. I can't jam Yuriko this right now. I'm going to draw her, recast my Thopter, and what playing like this does is if their turn, because they only have one card left and no other way to get extra cards. If their next turn contains a Burgie, then I have Fatal Push and a fetch land to kill Burgie, and I can still play a land and kind of go off with Yuriko. Bad, but it could be worse. Are we dead? Are we dead? I hope not, but are we dead? Okay, we're not dead. Ooh. I don't know what's on top of my deck, and I can't cast Brainstorm thanks to Defense Grid, so we just untap. What I'm gonna do first is go ahead and Brainstorm. The Brainstorm is gonna let me, The Brainstorm is gonna let me put Murderous Cut on top of the deck, so that when I go ahead and trigger Yuriko for my attack, I'm going to get to deal the most damage possible with that ability. So I'm going to Murderous Cut and Daze. Oh, son of a bitch.
Bluetooth pairing.
Thanks, speaker, for chiming right in as I realized how bad I fucked up. Oh my god, we're idiots. I was supposed to fetch first. Now, if I want Yuriko to come into play, I have to get rid of the Murderous Cut that's on top of my deck. Oh my god, we're so bad today. Fingers crossed, I guess, because the plan sucks, but I guess it's not really changing otherwise. So, yeah. Oh my god, that feels so bad. Oh, maybe if we're really lucky, we can draw like a Force of Will or something with that part of the ability. So I don't know, let's maybe get that in. So I'm gonna stack it like this again. So I want the Moon Circuit Hacker to resolve last, so that I can put the 2 Yuriko cards in my hand and then make a better choice with my draw then discard part of the ability. Look at that, we drew 2 lands with Yuriko instead of dealing them 7 damage. Oh my god, we are such morons. I'm so mad. Oh, and it's definitely nobody's fault but mine. I do not have another game action to take this turn, so I don't know, don't kill me, opponent. Jesus, they should be at 8, but I'm a moron, and now they're at 15, and that is so different. Oh my god, that is so bad. We just missed 7 whole damage because my dumbass forgot to fetch. Oh. Welcome to Legacy, where every land drop matters. So realistically, I was probably not getting out of this turn alive anyway, thanks to the defense grid. So with 7 cards in their hand, I honestly highly doubt that really bad mistake, I still kind of doubt that it mattered. But doesn't mean I feel less dumb about it. So what's the good stuff that happens here? The good stuff that happens here is that my next combination of Draw Step plus Ponder contains at least 1 Moon Circuit Hacker. And of course, you know, I don't die. Oh, there's the Burgie. Well, I have the Fatal Push for that. So if I live this turn with Burgie on the table, then the Fatal Push will take care of her. But again, that is a lot to ask. And I'm just gonna go ahead and press 6 since I don't have access to spells with Defense Grid on the table. Jessica's Will, that's a lot of mana. Yeah, especially against this deck, like they're just gonna get to basically plus 106 every time they do that. Oh, Defense Grid is kind of a pain in the ass though. That's gonna be exactly the kind of card that makes me wish I really had like 8 copies of Brazen Borrower instead of 1. Burning Wish, okay. Reforged a Soul. Okay, so we're gonna each drop and draw 7 here, is how that card works. And to be honest, I think I'm okay with that because my 7 are not that great anyway, so like, okay. I will slightly miss the Fatal Push if I don't actually draw something to do with it, but this isn't that good either. All right, okay. So they've got 6 more cards, and again, a crap ton of mana, so I don't know that I'm overly concerned with actually being able to untap here. So luckily, the difference between 15 life and 8 life isn't gonna end up mattering because of how dead we are. Okay, so there's the LED, and now they've got the Echo of Aeon, so they get to go ahead and kind of spin the wheel again, and it is not going to take a lot for them to get us dead now. So let's see if they take other game actions before actually casting Echo of Aeons. They have Burning Wish, and that can just make black, so they're just gonna get Tendrils and Tendrils me out. Good enough. So let's go ahead and concede this game here, and we actually have an okay amount of sideboard stuffs to do against them. So cards we do want. I'm cool with Force of Negation. I don't know that I want Wasteland here, even though they play things like City of Traders and Ancient Tombs to power stuff out. I think by the time they're having mana, they have so much mana that it's almost not even worth my time to try to compete on that axis. But another card I do want is Leyline in the Void. So Leyline specifically helps stop the entire Echo of Aeons nonsense. They can still cast it for 6, but 6 is so much different from 3 with the LED that I don't really know that I want to give them the option to cast Echo of Aeons. The other thing that we could do here, I could not play Leyline and instead just put in the surgical extractions, and actually that might be better because I still want to take out the Echo of Aeons there, but I don't know that I want like an auto mulligan on like it turns anything other than 0. So cards that I don't want the Fatal Push, the Snuff Out, or the Murderous Cut. We saw the Burgie, but honestly they're casting Burgie on the turn they're going off anyway. Like there's just, if Burgie's resolving, we're dead. And I think the Baleful Strix is going to be the least useful card here. Yeah, I think I like siding like this. So defense grid is like one of our hugest concerns, and we did not see the 2-mana construct from Neon Kamigawa yet. I don't remember the name of it, but what it does is it's 2 mana, and every time you discard a card, you instead exile that card, and when you exile the cards, you can play them for the rest of the turn. It's really good. And if we end up seeing that in game 2 and there is a game 3, I don't mind putting Fatal Pushes back in to deal with that card. Because yeah, that card's actually kind of unreal. So anybody who plays a lot of Legacy, let me know whether I'm having a Twitter moment where, hey man, everybody sides in Surgical Extraction too much, or whether that's actually like a decent part of the plan. So if you feel like making fun of me, let me know. I'm okay with it. So we're gonna go first here, and our hand is, you know, I think I'm actually okay with this hand. I've got the Changeling Outcast in case I draw a, I guess, Cyber Ninja, whose name I will continue to forget for the first week. I have Ponder, I have Daze, I have Force, I have a Borrower to deal with the defense grid, or Burgie, whichever comes up. So all things considered, this is not the worst. So let's see if they're going to try to turn 1 us and make me feel really stupid about saying it's not the worst, because that would totally be the worst. Although I do like their choice in basics here. It's the Secret Lair Brutality or whatever it's called. So you can totally go ahead and do that. That's fine. Shatter Skull Smashing, sure. Rite of Flame. We've got some useless dazes, everybody. 3 mana. Galvanic Relay. Okay, can't do much about that. So next turn, they're going to get to unload on us with like 1,000,000 cards. So let's see what those 1,000,000 cards are. Okay, so I've got the Force of Will for the City of Traders and the Brazen Bower, so I'm actually not that sad about that. So let's just go ahead and untap. Ooh, another Force. I don't hate that. Ornithopter. Wow, nice. Okay, I'm with it. So I really want to like play all of these things, but since that's not going to happen, I'm going to Ornithopter bottom, I guess, and Yuriko Vista, draw the Vista with the intent to put in Yuriko next turn. Ancient Tomb, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5 mana just off the bat. So it is unfortunate that I kind of have to Force of Will this, but I get to do that at least pitching the Brazen Bower. So I'm not just defenseless to this nonsense. It's not great, but at least I'm not just ultra defenseless. And they can go ahead and cast Burning Wish, and I'm not going to Daze or Force that. I think I'm actually just going to let that part slide. They get too much of anything with the Burning Wish that's necessarily worth using the Force for, but that is, I think, not an I know. Yeah, I think I'm going to let that rock. Yeah, I'm curious. What could they be getting? I mean, they could just be getting Echo of Aeons if they have 3 in the main and 1 in the board. They could be getting a bigger draw spell like, what, Jessica's Will? Do they play 3 in the main, 1 in the board for Burning Wish purposes of that? This is where I am going to learn what their options are. What could my opponent be getting? What could my opponent be getting? What could my opponent be getting? It is an Echo. Okay. At least that went as predicted. So this is going to be us drawing Yuriko, and I'm going to get to teleport her in, which is cool. That's exactly what I wanted. And all right, friend, do a thing. Oh, that's actually not bad. Sick. So now I can replay the Changeling Outcast, and while Outcast is clearly not the most exciting of things to ever do in a game of Magic, right? It is still an available option I have, so we can go ahead and have Daze/Force up, and Changeling Outcast plus Yuriko means I get to trigger Yuriko more often, so I'll have a higher chance to draw other interaction too, like if I draw Force and Negation, Thoughtseize, stuff like that, then that'll be thanks to Yuriko getting to trigger more than once against this deck right now. So 5 cards in hand is a lot for them though. Like, I won't say that's not scary, but let's see what they're doing here. If this is Bergie, I'm gonna force a will that pretty happily and hope they don't have a Pyroblast. Jessica's will, you can play the 3 cards. Okay, you're allowed. Not the defense grid, go away. But if you want to take 3 damage and cast Bergie, I will let you do that. Oh, looks like that's exactly what's happening. Oh, they're casting the defense grid. Defense. Ugh, gross. Fine. I kind of have to force this. This is really gross. I hate forcing this. I don't like it. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna complain. So this hopefully means that the other 4 cards in hand don't give them the ability to just like, you know, absolutely go to hell off on us. But if I let defense grid resolve, then I just don't get to play more Magic. So we kind of have to like begrudgingly counter all of those. Upside, we got rid of a couple of cards that are like not ultra fantastic in the face of a resolved copy of Echo of Aeons. So if their hand is Lion's Eye Diamond Echo of Aeons, then we will get to potentially draw more forces and cards and have already pitched a couple of blue cards that we don't necessarily want to redraw. So that at least is a plus, that the forces are doing some deck thinning, you know, upsides, I guess. Okay, what's this? A gamble. Okay, so it looks like that might actually be exactly what's happening. So they're looking for, they discarded Burning Wish. Okay, so they have the LED. Is the Echo of Aeons already in hand? It looks like it is. So they're gonna do the thing. Okay. Oh my god, this is terrible. Oh, that's so bad. What am I supposed to do with this? Oh man, I'm about to catch a whole foot up my ass. Oh my god. Oh. Maybe they don't have 1,000,000 points of fast mana and I get to untap, and Brainstorm is a huge help. Oh my Lanta, this is terrible. Oh my god, is that actually what's happening? What? Okay, this just in. We are the actual luckiest humans in all of known existence. Got it. So I guess I'm gonna just play this and Brainstorm first. Okay. So I'm gonna do it like this first because I want to have my Brainstorms set up for the most possible damage since they're at 11. So all right, this time we didn't screw it up. Cool. Boop boop boop. And oh, I'm not in blockers. And again, since we know what's on top of the deck, I'm gonna make Moon Circuit Hacker resolve last so that we can draw these as the Yuriko cards and do 8 damage to them. Jesus. That was stressful. On the draw, I changed my mind about not wanting the ley lines. I want the ley lines. I also want to stop thinking about this and press submit. So yeah, that'll give us the ability to potentially draw a ley line against Echo of Aeons, and that shuts off a big part of their comp. Damn it, no lands. Come on, Magic, why are you like this? Oh man, 1 land of, oh, this is so good with 1 land. And that is not what we got. Oh no, F in the chat. F in the chat. I guess. Put back Brainstorms. That's embarrassing. This is definitely not a hand in which we actually wanted to mulligan to thing either, but you know. Oh, that feels so bad. That's a lot better. All right, let's go ahead and ponder. Force Flooded Strand. Oh, you know what? So I want the Land Last, the Outcast, as my next draw step, and Force of Will now. So now I have Force and Daze, and I can play the Outcast next turn with a Swamp. That's not nothing. And I will get to Daze this, so we're at least playing a pretty good amount of Magic right now. So yeah, this isn't nothing. It's not good, but it's not nothing. Okay, what's this? Rite of Flame, Mox Opal, lots of Storm Count coming. There's an LED. If you have the stupid construct, I will counter that. Oh, just Galvanic Relay and Friends. Okay, well, I'm not doing anything about that. So Gamble, LED, Shadow Skull, and Reckless Impulse. Okay, so it looks like over the course of a couple of turns, they're gonna get to do a lot of stuff and generate a lot of mana. So I actually am really glad they gave me the ability to use my Daze, because Daze loses its value super quickly in this matchup. I am just gonna play this for now, get my attack in, and hope to God I can actually untap. Because that's kind of where we're at with this Mold of 5 here. So if my next draw step contains a ninja, I'll be very happy about that. That way I can actually like draw some cards, get a clock going, know what I'm saying? Like actually get to make this a two-player game of Magic rather than one person having a giant cannon and the other person flailing their arms like a 7-year-old at the beach or something, you know, just doing the thing. That's kind of what I feel like right now. Okay, we got the LED. So what else we got? Gamble, Shatter Skull, Reckless. It's a lot of cards. So luckily they don't have the option to go into the Echo of Aeon. So like that's just not a thing, which is really good for us because I don't know that we're beating like the defense grid lines. Reckless Impulse, I will do nothing about that. City and Galvanic Relay, jeez, that's so many cards. I'm definitely not keeping up with all of these cards. That's not happening. Oh man, is this what you people feel like when you play decks without Thalia? I don't know, I feel like playing without Thalia.
Power off.
Fine, fuck you too, speaker. Unrealistic our opponent is. Noted. So I wonder what they're doing here. 3 mana, 4 mana. Okay, well, you got my curiosity piqued. What are you doing with 4 mana? Or did you need to float mana like that for some reason for the Galvanic Relay? Yeah, this is a very wonderful game of what the hell is my opponent doing? Starring yours truly, the game show in which I have no idea what the hell my opponent's doing. Alright, so they're casting a Gamble, discarding Defense Grid. I like that, because I can definitely just never beat that card right now. Like, that's just not happening. Oh, did that also take them off of Galvanic Relay mana? Because they didn't tap the red? Or rather, they tapped the red for Gamble? Maybe they actually pop an LED to do it? Looks like they, oh, and they were holding 2 Echo of Aeons. So that's good for us to know about. Like the ley line did a lot of solid work. And yeah, they're going to get to cast a relay for like some ridiculously large number. I'm not doing anything about that. So they're going to get to basically +5 here. And Bergie, Burning Wish, Lotus Petal, Defense Grid, and Gamble. Oh, so many cards. Please stop. Nothing. Still not good, but not nothing. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana currently, just with 0 effort. So I can actually go ahead and grab the Underground Sea and hard cast Force of Negation at this, because they only have 3 mana left as of right now. With the Lotus Petal, if they try to cast Bergie before Lotus Petal, doing it like this will allow me to daze the Bergie. Are we gonna daze the Bergie? Don't cast the Lotus Petal, let me daze the Bergie. Teach me how to Bergie, teach me how to Bergie. Also, please just like run out of defense grids. I'm already sick of seeing this card. I think that's exactly what they're thinking about. Do you want to play around Daze with the Lotus Petal, or do you want to use Bergie plus Lotus Petal as a potential shit ton of mana? Alright, fine. I will Force of Will the Bergie still. It sucks though, because if I Force of Will the Bergie, they're still gonna get to Lion's Eye Diamond Galvanic Relay for even more cards. So like, this is still not actually good by any means. Upside, they can't gamble, so that's nice. Actually, is that it for options this turn? What else can you really do? I don't remember which cards were really revealed. Oh, well, F. Alright, the Burning Wish was part of this turn's thing. Gross. Void Snare. Alright, goodbye Leyline. Good night, sweet prince. Although, I don't know that I necessarily mind that now. Like, I think it's probably a little too late for that to be, like, the wave anymore. Like, it helped with 2 of the Echo of Aeons, so that part's really nice. But I think the Leyline has already done its job, you know. If I'm really lucky here, I get to untap and just, like, draw something good, right? Like, they can Lotus Petal the Leyline of the Void now. I untap, maybe draw a Yuriko I can cast for 3 mana, and then actually claw my way back into this game. That would be super lit. Yeah, like that's fine. So now if they draw a Echo, they can just like cast it, which I guess is fine. But I'm pretty sure we're out of stuff to do this turn, right? Like, let me untap and maybe just like draw. What? Oh, F. Wait. No, not F. Not F. A Daze? I mean, 2, 4, 5. If they have exactly a land as their next draw, then I can just daze the, I can actually just daze this last Echo. That's kind of cool. I hope I have that option. Opponent, let me daze your shit. Come on. Oh, no breaks. All right, we catch no breaks. Understood. Jesus. So I guess at least the upside of doing this is that we get to draw a bunch of new cards, and we already have a bunch of their good stuff accounted for already. Like, we know where 2 of their relays are, we know where 2 of their Bergies are, and we know where 2 of their defense grids are. So I guess, oh, that's actually pretty good for us. So like, all things considered, this really isn't that. But I do need to turn off yields. Yeah, like this really isn't that bad. Like I've got double force, double blue card, 2 ninjas, and a couple of ponders to help find me threats that go along with the ninjas. And I do not want to brainstorm now. Is that true? It is true. No, that's not true. I actually do want to brainstorm now. Wow, that's actually pretty strong. Okay, so I will draw a ponder, and that means that I've got 2 unknowns on top of my deck. With the 2 unknowns, I'm hoping to draw an ornithopter. How perfect. So I want to draw a thopter foundry, and pass the turn with 100 forces in my hand. Stop trying to kill me, opponent. I mean, yeah, that's kind of their job, is to kill me, but like that doesn't mean I want it to happen. Okay, you have your land. This land is your land. And we're just drawing a card with Fiery Islet? That is great signs for us. Oh my god. Please tell me we've actually crawled our way out of this nonsense, because that would be everything your friendly neighborhood Dre asked for Christmas this year, was helping to get us out of this hole that we're currently in, because it's pretty deep. Okay, so there's an LED. I will do 0 things about that. If they played it, oh my god, it's nothing. It is actual nothing. So I want to just untap. I do want to use ninjutsu this turn, and I only want to put you in, start getting that little pain train going. And I think this has a little more value than putting in a single 4/4 here. Yeah, I think this is better than a 4/4. What's this? Echoing truth, my friend. That's gonna backfire. All right, so I'm still gonna get to draw my card. God, ninjutsu is a silly mechanic. Stop trying to take my nice things from me. So it is true that I obviously didn't get to have like the crazy Yuriko turn there, but like that's still pretty acceptable, right? I feel like I'm still pretty okay with that. Okay, so we've got a Volk, we've got a lot of mana, but I've got a lot of force effects in hand, so this actually does bode pretty well for me. What are we doing? Is this a defense grid start? No, we're tapping a lot of mana. Oh, Shatter Skull Smashing. I actually don't care if they kill this, so I'm just gonna turn this into a 4/4 and let that rock. You're allowed to kill my 1 ninja. That's upsetting. I'm sorry, opponent. Okay. Void Snare. 3 cards in hand, and I still have 100 forces. I actually will protect, and we will shake the Yuriko. Yuriko is no longer my win con. Like, I've got a 2-turn clock right now with this construct token, and that clock turns off Ancient Tomb. Well, close to it. So let's go ahead and just attack for 4 and be pretty happy about that, if I'm being honest. And then I don't mind using my Brainstorm main phase here. I mean, I mind now, but because it was bad, but this still lets me hard cast Force and Negation and then pitch Force to other Force, so I don't need to use Retrofitter Foundry, or I don't need to cast this. I can just grab a basic island with this and know that I have access to casting this and then using this for free. So like, I'm still pretty okay here, I think. And they still got to solve this whole problem, so just in case it's relevant, I will make a token. I don't really know what they could have to protect themselves, but just in case I do like having... Now I do know what they have. What could you have to protect yourself? Oh, Echoing Truth. I actually will protect my friend. I feel like... Oh yeah, okay, GG's. Hooray, we did it. Difficult, difficult, difficult. But 2-0, so good stuff, hard fought match, and yeah, that was that was some bullshit. I'll see y'all for the next one. Yo, so we've gotten through a pretty good portion of today's video, and we're having a pretty good time today. To show your love, I'd like you to hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and hit the little bell so you know when new videos come out, and read the video description. That's where you'll find all the good stuff, like today's deck list, contact information, and more. Speaking of more, we have a new Discord server. That link is in the video description too. We can talk about Magic or anything else. You'll find Patreon exclusive content, and you can submit your decks to be played on this channel. Thanks for listening and watching. Now let's get right back into it. We got round 1 as ninjas against UMech. That's not a name I've seen before, but I also don't play like a ton of Legacy, so if this is a Legacy regular, it doesn't really matter, I guess, because I already wouldn't know. So this is going to be a mulligan here. So the Moon Circuit Hacker is nice, but I don't have anything to complement it. Force of Will and Days are nice, but I'm not on the play to make the days really good, and resolving a Retrofitter Foundry can be super gas, but actually no, I am going to keep this. Never mind. So this is going to be a bit of a slower game plan here, but having the... Whoa. Do not tell me we're playing the mirror. Are we actually playing the freaking mirror? Oh my god, we are playing the mirror in round 1. Holy shit. All right. So, that was not on my bingo card, y'all. Not on my bingo card. So here, I think I'm actually going to pitch my Moon Circuit Hacker to not let Retro Foundry do the thing, and then I'm gonna try to resolve my own Retrofitter Foundry with Days. So let's Prismatic Vista. I really hope my opponent says something in a chat about this. This is gonna be so glorious. How are we fighting the mirror? What's happening? Life is so glorious. I love everything right now. Oh my god, I am a very happy Dre. All right, so I hope they don't have the Yuriko, but looks like they do, so I can't do anything about this. So let's go ahead and watch them kind of flip cup here. And oh, they have the Infiltrator. Okay, sure. So they get to draw the card. So it looks like they're not playing our version of the deck with the Moon Circuit Hacker, but yeah, oh my god, they've got the Ultra Aggro start. All right, they're doing the thing, y'all. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna go ahead and try to resolve our copy of Baleful Strix here. And okay. Oh, we have a Fatal Push. That's not a bad start. So Fatal Push is really good here, and I will be relatively happy to hopefully start drawing an Ornithopter and maybe using my copy of Retrofitter Foundry to, you know, just do stuff. Like I would like to have a little more power and toughness on the table. This might actually end up being pretty hard. Of course I get to block, which is really sick, right? So them attacking into my Baleful Strix is probably going to be quite a bit to ask, but if they don't actually kill my Baleful Strix here, then I'll be pretty happy to just kind of untap and hopefully start to actually... nope, doesn't look like we're gonna get to untap here. Sad times all around. All right, so let's go ahead and get chunked in. They're gonna go back up to 3 cards. I cry about it. Oh, my Lanta. All right. Oh, fuck. Oh, I didn't daze it. Oh, I pressed the button. All right, game 2. We're not beating that. That was not good. Okay, so we have Plague Engineers, we have Fatal Pushes. That was actively really bad. We don't want Snuff Out against a deck that's playing a bunch of black creatures. We don't really want Brazen Bower. Oh, that felt so bad. Oh, man. And do I want to take out Dazes? I think the answer is actually no. I think I like keeping in Daze more than I like keeping in Force. Yeah, let's do that. So that's kind of cool. Oh man, we're fighting the mirror. So we're gonna put in pushes, 2 engineers, -2 forces, -1 Bower, -1 Snuff Out. Okay. So hopefully what happens here is that on the play, we're able to establish more of a board presence here. And well, I don't do stupid things like misclick and let them resolve Retrofitter Foundries, but also our Dazes are going to look a little better on the play. I'm hoping that my Moon Circuit Hacker being faster than their Ingenious Infiltrator matters a bit, and this is actually pretty nice. So turn 1 I can resolve an Outcast, turn 2 I can turn Outcast into Hacker, replay Outcast, or I can resolve a Retrofitter Foundry. Either way, this is looking okay for us. So let's do that, and then we're just going to go ahead and get to start. They are going to Force of Will that. Okay, I don't even know if I blame them, to be honest. They're casting Ornithopter. You got it, you got it. Okay. A Murderous Cut. Not exactly what the doctor ordered, but it will be like later on. So let's go ahead and grab our island first and foremost. So here, what I want to do is, I think I actually just want to resolve a Ponder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's resolve a Ponder. If Ponder finds a Daze, then I'll be pretty excited about that. It's not a Daze. But this is still not bad. So I can 2, 3. I want to draw the Plague Engineer, and let's see if this resolves. If they daze it, then I'm actually okay with that, because it means they won't have 2 mana for, okay, it just resolves. I was gonna say, if they daze the Retrofitter Foundry, it means they don't have 2 mana for a ninja, so I was actually pretty okay with that. But it looks like here we're gonna be, an Otawara? I wonder how that is. So they're gonna get to flip cup that into a ninja, and that's gonna be a Yuriko. Okay. What do they reveal? A Baleful Strix. Okay. Yep. Recasting Ornithopter. Of course, there's nothing we're doing about that. So we are going to not draw the Brainstorm that's on there. And I'm gonna ask Ponder to draw me a little help here. We get a little help. Okay. Still no offensive presence, which doesn't necessarily make me happy about that. But I am going to get to kill this, hopefully in their declare attacker step. And I don't want to wait until we are already in the declare blocker step, because that's where they can start like bouncing Yuriko and doing cool things, and just bad times all around for us, right? If they have another Yuriko to flip cup with this, then honestly there's really not much I'm going to be able to do about that. 1, 2, 3, 4. If this manages to actually just like get rid of this thing, I'll be pretty happy about that. Okay, is this just another Yuriko? Am I just ultra sad? Yeah, pretty close. Not really feeling too great about our chances with that. Okay. So hopefully this means I just get to go ahead and resolve our friend here. And I do have the Force of Will to back it up. So let's see if that ends up mattering. Sweet. Badalkin. Okay, so I'll just name Ninja. So that of course is a pretty great start. So hopefully you can have your Baleful Strix. I'm okay with that actually. And a Brainstorm, sure thing. So hopefully that gives us a little breathing room, you know. So if we are able to do this and Baleful Strix doesn't just like make our day a little miserable, I'm hoping to be able to resolve. Oh, well, that you can't have. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. All right, let's untap. And a Ponder. Ponder's not bad. I'm pretty okay with a Ponder. That's not a great Ponder. I'm actually gonna shuffle this. The thing I wanted, I don't want that. All right, so I'm not going to do any attacking. What I'm going to do here is just use my Retrofitter Foundry to turn itself into a servo, and then I can start hopefully obtaining an offensive presence from there. Yeah, I think that's going to be my new plan. So let's see what happens. Maybe they just attack with this. They are attacking with the Baleful Strix. Okay. Well, there's not much I'm doing about that. So if they're going to flip cup this into a Yuriko, I'm okay with that. Yuriko has 0 power. So if I just like take the 1, then like that's just kind of what it is. Okay, looks like I'm just going to go to 11. Okay. Another Baleful Strix. Obnoxious. Where's mine? I want Baleful Strixes. More Ornithopters. Okay, so we make a servo, and another Moon Circuit hacker is not exactly what the doctor ordered here. So I don't really have an attack either, which kind of stinks. Yeah, the second Baleful Strix is actually kind of making things miserable. So I'm going to go ahead and just play my Moon Circuit hacker here, and this is hopefully going to get us to the point where we're able to just kind of start getting our attacks on. But as it stands, I'm not particularly excited about this. Oh, come on. Go away. Man, I'm sure I made a mistake somewhere, but like, I think this really just feels like one of those games where we just kind of got outpaced. Like, I mean, the game 1, yeah, sure, we let the Retrofitter Foundry resolve through the days, and that's okay. Like, I know what we did there. But in this game, I really just feel like we got outpaced, and I feel like there should have been something to do about it, but at this point, I almost don't even know what. So this is just like really out of hand now. So what I can do here is obviously nothing about these specific cards here, and if they flip cup one of these Ornithopters to a Yuriko, then honestly so be it. Oh, they also have Moon Circuit Hacker. That's kind of cool. Oof. But yeah, I don't know. I really feel like there's something that I fucked up here. Like maybe we should have just been, whoa, that's cool. Oh man, why am I not playing that? Oh fuck, I feel like I fucked up. Oh my god. What? Their deck's so much cooler than mine. All right, well, I'm gonna try to resolve this and see what happens. Okay. So do I just name Ninja? Yeah, let's not dick around with the ninjas. I don't know if I necessarily like this attack. I don't mind trading for this if they let me, but I really want to just like loot and then have my hand hopefully be a little better. I don't need a second Retrofitter Foundry, so let's just do that and pass the turn. So now they have Kaito, and Kaito is super freaking cool, not gonna lie. Honestly, medium mad that I'm not playing. Oh, I'm so jealous. I kind of want to, oh man, I definitely want to play one. And there's like 100 printings of this thing too, and most of them are super sweet looking. So while we're in the middle of getting our ass kicked, let's take a look at Kaito, and after this round, we can go ahead and look at all the different printings of Kaito, because like it's really, really cool looking. Like the regular one is all fine, but if I'm ever going to play this deck in paper, I want one of the super cool ones. So let's see what happens here. Just Baleful Strix? Oh, Thopter too. I No blocks. You got me. I have been gotted. Is this another ingenious infiltrator? Oh my god, it is. This is so gross. We are getting our shit kicked in. They're drawing so many cards. Oh, and a fatal push too. Yeah. You got me. Oh my god. So we are ultra dead. But man, yeah, I don't really know how to salvage that. Like, I mean, we could have just like kept slightly more. Oh, now you show up. We could have slept like slightly more aggressive hands, I guess. But like, even then, I honestly think this is just one of those games that like was kind of always out of our hands. And I don't think my hand like needed mulliganing or anything like that. Like the Plague Engineer obviously was like fine. And I think, yeah, they just had a lot more creatures than we did, and maybe we should have mulliganed to more creatures. But all right, I'll call that a game here, and we'll concede here so they can have the match there. Let's take a look at these Kaitos, man, because these are super cool looking. So we've got these Kaitos, and there's a bunch of different versions of this thing, so we'll get rid of the sideboarding while we look at these two. But like the regular one, whatever, cool, right? Like this thing's just a normal cool looking planeswalker, and you know, it's his face, he's got the sword, he's all in like ultra cyber Tokyo looking, like complete with Squirrel Friendo, and honestly the Squirrel Friendo's pretty cute. But they've also got a bunch of alternate prints, like he's all, I don't know what to call this style of hair, where it's got the undercut here, but like the shaved mohawk, like crew cut length mohawk up top. But it reminds me of basically every anime delinquent character, where you're like, you see this guy in the high school and this is the one who's making face like, yeah, I'm a gangster, yeah, like that's that character, and it's pretty sick. Except there's also just like throwing a bunch of kunai at you, and you know, oh no, those aren't kunai, those are shuriken. Yeah, never mind, I didn't see the lines. I thought this was a knife and not like a whole star. They're stars. We've got those here. We've also got this really insano bit here. Like, I super love this. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the freaking Shredder from Ninja Turtles. Like, you see the spikes on the armor that look like Shredder's forearms. You see like the sword that's not necessarily Shredder. This is more like Silver Samurai from Marvel Comics here. But then you've got like this purple and silver armor that still looks just like the Shredder. Like I'm definitely pulling up more Shredder stuff. Let's super hype about Shredder. A big ass stock image of a Shredder. Oh my god. So the first thing that I pulled up when I googled
Bluetooth pairing
is not Bluetooth pairing, it's a Shredder. I was playing on the Switch earlier. So this is gonna be just like a big ass Shredder action figure thing from some website that's a place other than where I live. But you see what I mean though, he's got like the purple and the silver, the spikes on the forearm, like, you know, ultra muscles everywhere. Like, this dude's super badass. And kind of looks just like the Kaito, where you see like the spikes on the forearm, the purple and silver all over the place, like infinite muscles. So it's kind of like the same look, and I'm totally here for it. Like, that's super cool. And I might try to find an excuse to jam one of these in there, because this thing is really sick. And yeah, I don't know, I kind of want to play one now. I wish my list was playing one, but I'm not good at this today. So what up? We got round 2. And I'm gonna keep this hand. It's got a land, ponder, retrofitter foundry, and daze. So we've got a lot of action possible. And assuming we see something that we want, we have Yuriko to follow up with. Flagstones. Well, that card's never done anything fair. So I am definitely curious about what level of BS I'm looking forward to finding out about here. But I'm not looking forward to the fuck around part of it. So I will do my best here to find an Ornithopter for Yuriko. We do not. I don't necessarily hate the idea of drawing a force. So we're going to not shuffle, draw the force, and then just kind of go from there. But honestly, most bases that could be covered by Flagstone decks, I think we already have covered, right? Like, we have Daze and Force of Will in case shit gets real. We have a Fatal Push for things like Elvish Reclaimer, and if this game really needs to be slow, then I guess it can be, even if that's not necessarily preference A, you know? So I don't want to draw the card that's under that, which is why we did that. I don't mind playing this into a Wasteland, since we... Oh, hey! Sick, we did it. So I want this, then this, then this, because we want to play the Outcast now. So I'm actually just realizing what I did because I wanted to use the flooded strand to get the C. So using the flooded strand would have gotten the C and kept polluted delta in hand for Yuriko mana in case of this exact wasteland here. I'm so dumb sometimes. But now I have to wait a turn because I put the Prismatic Vista one more card down. All things considered though, I'm still okay to go ahead and resolve this Retrofitter Foundry, so I can do this and just go ahead and attack for one, and then next turn I'll still have access to the Prismatic Vista underneath here, because I just like have to, you know, just not fetch this turn. So let's go ahead and resolve this now. Doesn't mean I feel less dumb for it. Man, we are fucking up today. But this is, I guess, a good lesson to learn, so I'm not gonna like edit this out or anything stupid like that, right? Because we are definitely playing a format where every land drop really matters, and it's good to learn these lessons, especially like in these games and not like in, you know, a game that I guess really super matters. I do not mind forcing this to save my Retrofitter Foundry. Yeah, I don't mind forcing that. Force doesn't have too much use in this matchup after that anyway, so... Oh, that's weird. The Yavimaya turned it into this border and not like the one I had the first time with the full art. All right, not gonna lie, I didn't see that coming. So we get to do this. Oh, right, Yavimaya. And flip up our friend here, trigger this. Ooh, into a snuff out. That's a pretty good size trigger. And here I just go ahead and pass again. Yeah, I don't like that. Because the ones that we're playing were the super cool full art versions of these cards, but when it's like this, we don't get to do that. We have the, I guess the, whatever you call standard border. I don't really know what the fancy technical term is for that, but that's what we have now. So let's go ahead and attack here. If they have crop rotation, then, I mean, I'm already losing that game, so I just kind of hope they don't have crop rot. Oh, see, it's cool in my hand, but when I put it on the table, it looks like this. Guys, all right. Whatever, casting our cards. So we're going to cast that. I'm going to cast this in case of, I still like casting that. A Force of Will. That's not so useful after I play the Baleful Strix, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and just pass the turn here. What are we doing? Oh, we're just removing an ice counter. Oh, we're doing it the slow way. That's actively great for us. So if you're, oh, never mind. Never mind. We're just looking at a 2020. Oh, that's actually fine. Oh, it's a night. Oh my god. I was thinking the entire time that it was a, what am I thinking? Another Night of Autumn. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. And here, I guess we're just like hoping to God that we have a copy of, what's the card I'm thinking of? Brazen Borrower on top of our deck. We don't. But, so how does this work? Yeah, so that's land 1, that's land 2. They can tap this. So they have a 2020 right now. So there's nothing I can do to prevent them from. So what I think I'll do this is just kind of try to set up like this. And since they're at 12, I can block with the Baleful Strix, and Retrofitter Foundry can provide me with a couple of Thopters over the course of a couple of turns here. So I think that's really my only way to play Magic. And then on the swing back, what I'll be able to do is hopefully connect with, yeah, you need a keyword. Why don't you have like Menace or something? Anyway, is then just kind of connect with Yuriko like 1 or 2 times to try to finagle my way into having access to, you know, just enough Yuriko triggers to get me across the finish line here, because that's really, that's my game plan. So I block with Baleful Strix. Thank God Merit Lage doesn't have trample. Jump in front. Thank you for your service. You are already dead. So we're going to make a servo, and I can turn servos into Thopters that fly, so I will have blockers for the Merit Lage, which is pretty sweet. So I can just go ahead and play this, and I have Force of Will mana now with 5 lands, so that's also pretty sick. So here I'm just gonna attack with this, and this. I should attack with that too. It can't block, and then I can sacrifice servos to turn into. So that does take down the Force of Will, but honestly, that's not the biggest concern. So let's trigger Yuriko twice and hope that's good enough. Ooh, 2 more damage. Yes, let's go! Woo! Scary. All right, so we have Wastelands. We have, I guess, Fatal Push is probably the next best thing here. And I don't want Leyline in a Void, even though I assume they are probably a Loam deck, but I will put in Surgical Extraction. And feel free to do the whole Twitter thing where you make fun of me for being one of those like legacy scrubs who puts in surgical extraction too much. Like, whatever, dude, you got me. But I think that's what I'm gonna do here. So against these decks, I don't really want Daze because it's not like we're ever gonna be able to really out mana them. That's just not happening. So I can do that. I also don't want... I think Retrofitter Foundry is actually my next worst card because we've already seen that they're playing things like Night of Autumn in the main anyway. While this is a pretty respectable threat here, I think it might end up being the worst of the threats when I can also just like attack with my ninjas and go from there. The other... no, I think I like this. I don't know that I want all four though. What do I want to take out if I... is it the Baleful Strixes? They do block Merit Lage, which is nice, but they don't actually contribute to my winning the game. They just make me not lose against this deck. And I don't know that I really want to have something that just says don't lose here. I think I'd rather try to win games. So here we've got +2 Wasteland, +2 Surgicals, +2 Pushes, -3 Days, -1 Foundry, -2 Birds, and I actually wrote Strix, but that's gonna be what we submit here. So let's see if we can use our lovely cards to collect a game 2 here. Yuriko has the ability to do so much damage. I still wanted to have like Menace or something because I'm just greedy. I don't hate this. So any ninja turns Ornithopter into just like the best card in the deck, and Fatal Push will help take care of something like, say, an Elvish Reclaimer. So I mean, I won't lie and say that card doesn't scare the shit out of me because it does. Oh, nice, nice. Remember that time I asked for a ninja and got it first turn? So, I want all of these things, but I want Outcast least. So I want that, and this, and I'm gonna draw the Wasteland and hide the Brazen Bower just in case they are also playing Thoughtseize. I honestly really highly doubt they are, but you know, the chance of that happening isn't stone zero. So this is going to be the Brazen Bower. I'm pretty excited about drawing that. And here we're going to put in our lovely ninja friend. Hi, I would like you to draw me a card, and I would like you to not Swords to Plowshares, my friend. So yes, we want to draw the card. So here we're going to go ahead and play this. We're going to play this, and I'm going to go get a swamp, and our swamp is going to change our Outcast, and we will be pretty excited about being immune to our opponent's Wastelands. And yeah, so far so good, right? What is our opponent casting or doing? If they Crop Rot, I'll be pretty happy to just go ahead and... oh, that's fine. Yeah, you got it. So if it comes up again here, I'll be pretty happy to go ahead and Fatal Push their land drop. Thespian Stage, sure. I actually will Force of Will that. So I only have one island out right now, but I don't mind making it so that I just don't really have to deal with that. Oh, well, now I have 2 islands anyway, so I feel less bad about that. So we're gonna play full land destruction? Is that what we're doing right now? Oh, Magic the Gathering, you are a hilarious children's card game. So I'm gonna do that, and I actually will loot, because I don't necessarily... that's fine to loot away, I think. Oh my god, this is a hilarious path that this game has taken, I guess. Okay, not doing much about that. And I don't mind if they block my Moon Circuit Hacker with the this thing. So here I'm going to just grab an island, and that's also pretty exciting. Again, doing this against this Wasteland decks is pretty hype at all times. So we can go ahead and kind of play Flip Cup with the Ornithopter here, and that's still pretty hype. So let's do that. And I don't mind getting Safekeeper off the table, so like we don't need to mess around and do anything else there. So let's draw our card, and it's a Force of Will. That's not bad. I don't want to force away my Brazen Bower, but that's fine because most permanents that they would actually want to put on the table, I would probably rather Petty Theft anyway. So let's see what actually ends up happening here. Okay, we've got another Thespian Stage, and this is a Crop Rot. I actually will let them do that because I already have the Brazen Bower to solve Merit Lage. So if this is... oh, it's just a Savannah? Oh. Duh, that was... never mind. That's not Savannah. So what can happen here? They can get Tabernacle. That would be annoying. They have 3 cards. Should I force this and block them from getting Tabernacle? Or should I bet on them getting Dark Depths and be able to use my Brazen Power against that? I think I need to cast the Force of Will. The chance that they get Tabernacle is just like way too high, and honestly, this board state, I cannot beat a Tabernacle. So let's see what ends up happening here. Oh good, nothing. That's nice. That's less nice. That's okay. Let's go ahead and attack. So I'm gonna attack with the Ornithopter just to see if they like do anything about it, and I don't mind pitching that clearly. I will use my mana. So yeah, cards are on the table, opponent. What you got? Knight of the Reliquary. Okay, you have a large. So that is cool, but I'm not in a position where I think I have to care about that just yet. And I don't want to use my Brainstorm, but I can. What can I find with Brainstorm? I can find exactly a Snuff Out or a Murderous Cut to kill the knight now. I already used my Brazen Bower and no, I will look for a Snuff Out or a Murderous Cut. How lucky are we? Not quite that lucky. That's still actually okay. So I can attack with these two, and I'll end up drawing both of the lands, and that's kind of what it is, but like, I'm still pretty happy to just have access to all of my cool stuff here. And yeah, I'll just do it like this. So I'm not terribly excited about knowing that I have 2 lands to draw with these triggers, but I will. Oh, right. So what I'm going to do here is stack it so that the Yuriko triggers resolve last this time. Reason for that being, I know that this is definitely going to draw me a land, and this is definitely going to draw me a land. But doing it like this...
Power off.
Oh, okay, speaker. Thanks for helping. But this card might actually be something that deals me damage. So if I have like a Force of Will under here, then that might actually get them dead. So let's try that. So yes, I would like to draw the land. That's going to draw me a land, or use something that does damage. But we still gave ourselves the chance to draw something that does damage, so I guess I'll shut up and take it. And I'll play one of my lands and pass here. I mean, clearly 3 lands in a row isn't exactly optimal, but I don't know, I think we gave ourselves the best chance to draw something cool there. So how bad could this be? Another knight? Okay, are you going to just like grab Tabernacle now? Because I would like it if you didn't do that. But I don't really know that they can afford to tap the creature either, so I don't know, fingers crossed I guess. But these 6/6s are pretty large. Not exactly a fan of dealing with those. How many cool things can we do next turn if we draw something nice? A Glacial Chasm. Annoying. So we do have another another Wasteland that we can draw to get rid of Glacial Chasm. So that is a thing. Boo. Alright, untap. A Ponder. A Ponder's not bad. So let's see what we can get off of that. We drew the Wasteland. Oh man, that's nice. Alright, so no, I'm not gonna shuffle that. I will, however. Oh my god, I'm so hype. So here I get to chill for exactly 1 more turn here. Right, that prevents all the damage. You require the combat damage to actually be dealt. Okay, so I don't touch any buttons here. I just let them pay life, and then on the very last turn is where we want to use the Wasteland at Glacial Chasm and kind of make them deal with it from there. So they can go ahead and start doing the Knight of the Reliquary things, and that's pretty obnoxious, but they can't attack as long as they keep the Glacial Chasm on the table either, so I'm actually kind of cool with that part of things. I will just be glad that they didn't decide to grab the Tabernacle though, because they play around that a lot better than I do. So let's see if they want to keep that in play or whatever the deal is here. Also of note, they have 1 card left in hand. Okay, what are we doing here? Are we changing Thespian Stage into Glacial Chasm and letting this Glacial Chasm die? Looks like that's exactly what's happening. Okay, sure. And then sacrificing that to go get a what? Oh, excuse me. What are we getting here? Oh, Blackstones. Okay, I guess I'm okay with that. So no life to pay here. Again, I think the biggest problem land for us is probably the option of drawing Tabernacle. Like that's a pretty big problem for us. But this is actually what? They're tapping both of their knights now. Oh my god. Sure. Not much I can do about that. Please don't get Tabernacle. Savannah. That's the flagstones. And now the knight gets a... I would still like this answer to be almost anything other than Tabernacle. Like, I have all the lands to pay for Tabernacle, but it means I can't really perform any other game actions here. Okay, fine. So, if this is a... I don't know what these other 2 cards that can threaten me, but it doesn't mean I'm not scared of them. I have 5 lands for 5 creatures. That part's okay. So honestly, I am mostly okay here, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. So yes, I will continue paying to keep my table on the board here. And now we draw this, and we waste the Glacial Chasm, and hopefully that's a handshake. Dead opponent, please actually be dead. Yeah, Alright, friends, turn sideways. Laugh in the face of Tapped Knights of the Reliquary. Alright, so that's probably just like a Dryad Arbor. Drop Rot into another thing? Swords in Yuriko? That doesn't do anything. Alright, let's go. Phew! Difficult. But, as y'all saw, the Wastelands were pretty clutch. So yeah, on to the next round. Well, we've got some takeaways now that our games are over. And we have gotten to tackle some pretty different decks in the rounds that weren't recorded and the rounds that we actually got to watch today. So the rounds that weren't recorded, we played against what? Jeskai Control, we played against Reanimator, and we played against a mono red sneak attack deck. And we already saw the first two matches. We ended up losing to Jeskai Control, beating Reanimator, beating Sneak Attack, and we ended up going 4-1 in our first league. In this new league that we're playing, we are 1-1. We lost to the Ninjas Mirror, which was pretty cool. They played a lot cooler cards than we did, so can't even be mad about that. And we also just played against Green White Depths, which I thought was going to be a pretty hard matchup, but you know, sometimes we got this. So we've had a pretty respectable showing of it as far as things go. Like a 5-2 record overall isn't that bad, especially since we have 3 more matches, then we have the ability to hopefully win all of those. So overall, cool things, good times. And I want this deck to kind of evolve as we continue playing it, and I keep learning more about what the rest of the format's going to look like surrounding it too, because we've just had Rags banned, so the blue-red Delver decks are still going to be the best deck in the format, more than likely, but they're going to look very different from before without Rags. We're going to see things like this pop up now that we've gotten new toys from Neon Kamigawa. We're going to see some decks that are looking to play cards like Boseiju, so maybe there will be a small uptick in lands, and decks that are looking to beat lands with the color green. We have already seen a little bit of that, seeing as we played against both a Maverick and a green-white Depths deck earlier. And I think there's going to be, like I said, a lot of room for this deck to grow. Like, we can play cards that are not in here as well. Like, for example, if we wanted to cut Murderous Cut for another Snuff Out, we can do that. We can play a 4th copy of Daze. We can play other cards as well. Like, we can put Ingenious Infiltrator back into the deck if we want to play more than 8 ninjutsu creatures. We can play things like Wastelands in the main, maybe 1 or 2. I don't know if I suggest more than that ever. But if we want to combat things like Karakas that bounces our Yuriko, we can do that. If we want to play against Dark Depths better in game 1, we can do that. To that end, we can also play multiple Brazen Borrowers if we want to. We can also just play a lot of over-the-top things, and that's kind of the route it looks like our Ninja Mirror opponent took earlier, where they were playing a copy of Kaito, at least one, but we can play cards like that. We can even play Murktide Regent. If we cut this Murderous Cut, for example, nothing else in our deck is using the graveyard at all, so there's nothing to say that we can't just play an 8/8 flyer at our opponents. So there's a lot of options that we have available to us, and I think there's room for exploration. So I'll be really happy to kind of take this deck list, maybe evolve it, try it out a couple more times, and really just kind of see where it goes, because at least in today's games, I've had an absolute blast. So I am certainly not unwilling to play this deck again. Also, Legacy is just really fun right now. Like, I've had a lot of fun playing Merfolk. I've had a lot of fun playing this Ninjas deck so far. Don't hold me to this, but I might try to brew something up with Spirits at some point. Yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff to do. So that's going to be our good times for today. We got to play a bunch of Legacy. I'm glad I didn't really have to, like, all the way give up on this video because of the lost content. We were able to just go ahead and kind of record more. So I'm glad that was a thing that ended up working out in the end.
Because that's my ninja way.
But that's going to be everything for today's video. So let me know what you would have done with this deck list in the comments. Let me know, if you want to make fun of any play mistakes we made, by all means, have at it. And as always, if you like what you're watching, just make sure to click like on the video, sub to the channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see y'all on the next one.